Okay, we're going to start this meeting. Let's start off with roll call.
Arthur Burns,
Here.
Robin Hanger,
Here.
Dennis Smith,
Here.
Tony Casada,
Here.
Michael Meyer.
Stand with me for the pledge and invocation. Father, we thank you for this night. We ask you to give us wisdom to do the right things and make right decisions, the best decisions for our city and for the residents. And just watch over us all and give us guidance, Lord. Thank you. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chair, I don't think it's on the agenda, but it usually might be appropriate to go ahead and excuse Mike Myers from you may get an excused absence.
Okay. At this time, then, I'd like to excuse Mike Myers.
Just need to get a
Make a
motion.
note of that. I'm sorry?
Just need to get a motion in a second.
Motion. Second.
Okay. Thank you.
And just say all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank
Sorry.
you, Chairman.
Next thing is, I need a motion to approve the minutes, previous minutes. If there's any discussion for it, or,
I'm making a motion to approve minutes from previous meeting.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we get a vote then? Right?
Yep.
We do
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, sorry. This is my first meeting, that I've done, so. Let's see, we have that. And then we'll move right into the agenda then, I guess, turn it over to Brian.
Yes, Chairman, this is a variance request for 508 Riverside Drive. They're requesting a rear and a side yard setback variance from the requirements of Section 114-765 of the Land Development Regulations. Those are titled Schedule of Dimensional Requirements. The variance from the rear is a request to go from 30 feet to 13 feet, and a side yard setback variance from 10 feet to 2 feet. And the parcel is in the R1 zoning district. In the R1 zoning district, side yards are required to be 10 feet minimum, and rear yards are required to be a minimum of 30 feet. The applicant is requesting, in particular, the rear yard setback variance because they propose to build a 600-square-foot addition on the back of the home. This particular lot is part of the Randall and Thompson subdivision plat. The actual plat, the only thing that I could find by way of that plat to see the lots was dated in the 1880s. Needless to say, the lots did not appear on that plat as they do today in their current form. I did reach out to the clerk of court's office to see if they were able to locate a plat that would show the lots more recent in their current form, and they weren't able to either. So most of the lots, including the lot on 508 Riverside Drive, in that area do not meet the minimum width or the overall size requirements for the zoning district in the area. And the homes in that area were all built in the 19-teens to the 1950s, which obviously is well before the requirements for setbacks existed in our land development regulations. So staff is actually making an educated guess that the lots in the homes are legal nonconforming just because of the dates at which things were created. The lot at 508 Riverside Drive does not meet the 90-foot minimum width requirement, and also the home that was built on the lot in 1950 does not meet the north side setback requirement. So again, these are considered legal nonconformities just because of the age in which the homes were built and the assumption that the lots were created about the time or before that the homes were actually built. Just to note on the side yard setback, the home is existing. The home is already and has been 2 feet from the side property line. So they're not requesting this setback in order to build something on the side. It's more of a way of kind of legitimizing this nonconformity, so that if something does happen, the home is destroyed, it can be built in the same spot, rather than having to meet the required side setback of 10 feet. The required front yard setback is 30 feet, but the home was built approximately 70 feet from the front yard property line. So due to the home's placement on the lot, the applicant isn't really able to build a reasonably sized addition on the rear of the home without encroaching into the rear yard setback. So that is why they are requesting the setback for the rear. In order to grant the variance request, the commission has to find that the request meets the requirements of section 82-317. I did go through each of those requirements in your staff report, and it is staff's opinion that the applicant has met all of the criteria as stated in order to grant the requested variance. So based on this, staff recommends approval of the request for a rear and side yard setback variance from the requirements of section 114-765 of the Land Development Regulations titled Schedule of Dimensional Requirements, a variance from the required rear yard setback of 30 feet to 13 feet, and a side yard setback from 10 feet to 2 feet for a parcel in the R1 single-family zoning district located on the west side of Riverside Drive, approximately 100 feet north of 5th Street, and more particularly known as 508 Riverside Drive. And that concludes my presentation.
Okay. Is the applicant here? Is there something you'd like to tell us?
My name is Robert Cox. My grandfather bought the house in 1950, and we didn't realize how strange the lot was until recently when we were getting it surveyed and things like that. So, like, if you'll notice, even none of the lot sides are square. It's somewhat parallel, but the front and the back are not squared up. And so when we went to try to come up with an idea of how to expand the house so I could retire in it, we ran into the idea of it being, needing a variance. Currently, the pool is in place, and right now what we're asking for is to come within 1 foot of matching the edge of the pool deck, and that would put us at right at 13 feet. If we went ahead and were allowed to match the pool deck itself, just to square off that back portion of it would be 12 something. But it's interesting because the north area, I think the 2 feet is measured from our driveway, because at the garage section, it's about 4 feet to the property line. So I don't know. I mean, the paperwork that we had as from my grandparents were old like yours from the 1800s. So it's important to us because we're trying to make it a place to where I can have my whole family in one spot, because it's an old 2-bedroom, 1-bath home.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak about this? Seeing nobody.
Chairman,
Yes.
I just would like to ask for clarification, if I could address the applicant.
Yes.
Are you okay with the setbacks as they were stated? The 13, I just want to make sure. So 13 feet in the rear, and the side is 2, but that's just the,
That's on the north.
so are you okay with the 13 feet as stated?
It's 13 feet, yes.
Okay. All right, I just want to make sure, because once it's granted for 12, once it's granted for 13, you can't go to 11 or 12,
If I was to ask for 12 right now, would I need to reapply for the whole variance?
Would he have to reapply?
No, we wouldn't need to reapply. People have been noticed. Would it change your opinion, your analysis, Brian?
No, not 1 foot.
Because if you allowed me 12, it would match the pool.
Staff has no objection to that. We would just have to state that in the approval, or the recommendation, and that's what I would recommend to the commission.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Thanks for asking for the clarification.
Okay.
All right, and I see no one else had any questions on it, so, you have any discussion? Go ahead.
Mr. Walker, the applicant said that the pool is already in place.
Yes.
Does that mean it was built without permits?
No, pool setbacks are different than building setbacks. So he has a permit for the pool, and he meets the correct setbacks for a pool.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Any other questions? Then I'd ask for a motion to allow it to the way it's wrote, except for wanting the 12-foot setback.
I'll make a motion to change it to 12-foot setback and leave the rest as it stands.
Second.
Okay. Can I get a vote?
Dennis Smith,
Yes.
Arthur Burns,
Yes.
Robin Hanger,
Yes.
Tony Casada.
Yes.
Okay. With that being said, we'd move on to the next one, which is number 2 for the Mirage.
This will go, I just want to let them know, this is going to go to the commission the second Tuesday of this month. Okay? Okay. All right, and that will start at 6 as well. All right.
Thank you.
Chairman, this next item is the Mirage subdivision, phases 3 and 4. This is the final engineering or the preliminary plat. The applicant is Christopher Butera of Mirage HH Partners, LLC, and he is requesting preliminary plat approval, and this is for phases 3 and 4 of the Mirage subdivision. Phases 3 and 4 add an additional 49 lots and will increase the lots, developable lots within the subdivision to 102. This subdivision is located approximately 1,200 feet east of Nova Road on the north side of Flomich, and it is south of Alabama. The entire subdivision is approximately 30 acres, and back in 2007, a plat was approved which created 161 lots. Then through the years, there have been some modifications to the subdivision. A replat was approved in April of 2017. And now, as they are finishing up all of the final touches on this subdivision, they're requesting a preliminary plat or a replat that is proposed to create an additional 49 lots. The site is in the R6, or low-density multifamily residential zoning district. That district allows 12 dwelling units an acre. However, the future land use of phases 3 and 4 is low-density residential, and this allows a maximum of 6 dwelling units per net buildable acre. So phases 3 and 4 propose a maximum density of 5.76 dwelling units an acre, and they are therefore consistent with the low-density residential future land use. The project proposes townhomes. The minimum lot size is 1,080 square feet, and the proposed townhomes will be a minimum of 900 square feet and a maximum of 35 feet in height. The City of Holly Hill is the provider for the water and sewer, and the applicant has submitted final engineering plan signed by a licensed engineer. It's been reviewed, and that has been approved. The final engineering plans have been approved by the city. A final plat for the subdivision has not been submitted at this time. When it is submitted, that plat will be reviewed for consistency with the approved final engineering plans, Florida statutes, Chapter 177, and all other relevant state and local regulations. The applicant has also been notified that lots cannot be sold for development until such time that the subdivision improvements have been completed, inspected, and approved, unless bonded, and the subdivision has received final plat approval. Based on this, staff recommends that the City Commission approve the preliminary plat for phases 3 and 4 of the Mirage subdivision. That concludes my presentation.
When I read this over the weekend, I didn't understand the one sentence, unless bonded. What are you trying, they can sell it without approval if they get a bond? That's how it reads to me. Can you?
They can bond, you can bond improvements. Sometimes applicants or developers would like to be able to begin selling lots, but the infrastructure hasn't been completed. So the roads going in, all of the roads maybe haven't been completed. There may be infrastructure with regard to sewer and water in particular areas of the subdivision, but they want to be able to begin selling lots before those improvements have been inspected and completed, inspected, and improved. So in order to do that, they have to plat, and in order to sell those lots before the improvements are done, they would have to bond them. If they were to plat it and have all of the infrastructure done, completed, inspected, and approved, then they could sell lots and there would be no bond required. But they wouldn't be able to sell the lots until all of that was complete. But sometimes they would like to begin to sell lots before those improvements are done. Sometimes subdivisions are large and you don't have all of the improvements everywhere completed. So in areas where they are completed, they like to be able to sell lots and build homes and get those lots sold. And in that case, we require them to bond the improvements for 110% of the cost to complete those improvements.
Who would be the beneficiary of the bond?
Usually the city would be the beneficiary in the event that they were, let's say the developer went belly up. If that were the
That's
case,
my
this developer's
concern.
been around for a long time, but if that happened, then you don't have a subdivision that's left half-built.
Thank you.
Let's hear from the applicant if you're here to maybe get some more light on that.
Good evening, Planning Board. My name is Chris Piutero with Mirage HH Partners, 1275 West Granada, Ormond Beach, Florida. Happy to answer any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for them?
Can you bring this picture up on the map? Oh, it's already up there. I was just doing that. What area of that, is it all within the black borders? Can you?
It's the black borders represent the entire subdivision, and that is the area that is the subject of the final engineering plans. Primo Court has not been included because Primo Court is basically built out. Although it's part of the Mirage subdivision, it's not the subject of phases 3 and 4. So looking at this, you're looking north, and phases 3 and 4, actually, Laney, can you bring up the actual development plan? No, okay, yeah, keep going. It's the old plat.
It's probably further down.
Okay.
Just tell me when. Is it the real large ones?
Yes. But I may have a sheet in there that's just the development, just one sheet, so keep. Okay. All right. Yep, keep going. It's taking a second to
Just
load.
that it's big.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the other ones.
Okay, all right, there you go. So that's it there. You can see on the northwest portion,
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it.
well, there you go. On the northwest portion, there's one phase, and then on the south, along Flomich is the next phase.
And to give you some context too, the original townhouses on Alabama, there's 20 units there that were built back in 2006, 2007. That's phase one. Phase two is the 33 lots on Primo Court. And then these are 3 and 4.
Chris, I own a home.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You'd have to come up and state your name and, so, any other questions for this gentleman?
Are you planning to change the shape of the pond at all? I mean,
No, the pond is now done.
Okay.
So if you saw, I mean, basically this plan and what you saw in the aerial, the
Yeah.
pond has been completed, and actually the pond, as of today, was deeded to the city of Holly Hill. So that is now a asset, stormwater asset, not only for the community, but for the general region of Holly Hill, which was the intention of this project. You know, originally, like Brian mentioned, we had 161 townhouses on this property, and, you know, we got rid of about 60 of them in order to do this large pond, large lake.
Okay,
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
thank. All right, if you don't have, no one has any more questions for you, we can move on to the next person. You want to come up, sir?
Sure. Hi, my name is John Boss. I live at 1031 Alabama. And I'm all for this, nothing against. I just have some questions. I guess they'd be directed to Chris.
You need to address your questions to
Oh,
staff.
okay. All right. Again, I live on Alabama, and I'm just wondering, behind my home, my townhouse, there's woods. I guess, I can't really see that. I wonder, I guess there's gonna be a road coming in from Alabama, and would it be a cul-de-sac? And I guess, are my woods gonna be gone, that are behind my house? And if they are gone, is there gonna be a fence put up, or, I don't know, I just have,
Can you answer that?
not that I'm against it.
At this point, I'd prefer for the applicant to answer that
Okay.
question, because they're asking about, is a fence is going to go up, and there's no
If I
planned
lose-
fence at this point on the plans.
If I lose the woods.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll
All
let
right, if you want to have a seat, we can have him come back up. State your name again, please.
Yeah, Chris Butera, Mirage HH Partners. Again, if you look at that, the previous plan, it kind of shows what's going on with the lots behind you. So you're one of the Alabama lots on the far west side?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you need to address to us, and I'm sorry. So the question would be, if he's along the Alabama side, there's woods behind him.
Correct.
Will they be taken out? Or,
Yes.
and if they are, will there be a fence or something put back there? And,
Let me try to see if we can get that. We will have a road off of Alabama, which comes back into a cul-de-sac on that piece of property behind those townhouse units. And I believe there's either 10 or 11 townhouse units going back on that site. Whether there's a fence or not, I don't believe there's a fence. There is a landscaping that's going on the landscape plans that we can reference if we pull those up. But I'm not aware of any fencing there.
okay, Brian, would it be a certain size of buffer that needs to go back in there, or?
Typically, there would be at least a 10-foot buffer.
So if he
but-
loses,
Laney, can you pull up the landscape plan on the main? What you do, scroll until you got to the last, it's usually going to be the last 2 pages of the plan that we were looking at. So yeah, just keep going.
Last 2 pages, you said?
It's usually, it's usually going to be the last. Go up, actually.
Keep going.
More, More. Okay. And So these are the landscape plans around the cul-de-sac. Go up.
Is
And
that the one?
let's see. So this is showing the area that is behind Alabama. And then let's see, can you go up? Let's see if that. No, let's see a little more. All right, no, go down. Those are the details. So the area, actually go up a little bit. All right, so, nope, that's the area along Flomich. The plans that we have show the pond, which is just behind Alabama, and then the area that you're looking at in the upper left is the area that's the road coming in off of Alabama. So anything between that area in there, that either the buffer will be, it'll be people's backyards. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but those would be backyards, and that area would be considered buffer area.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be a rear setback against a rear setback.
Right.
For the 2 units.
What is the gray area behind those right in there, right where your mouse is? What is that?
I think it's just sod.
Okay.
That's probably just a sod legend.
Yeah.
He's not suddenly going to have a road in his backyard.
No.
No, that's
landscape.
all landscape back there, or a minimum of sod.
So to answer his question, I believe, is that he would be losing the woods that are there, the buffer of the woods.
Right.
But are they required to put any trees or anything back?
They're not required, all of the landscaping that's been done is what's required
So this,
for that landscaping. So if he wanted to put a fence up, they could put up a fence.
or the gentleman could put up a fence. It'd be the same as having a backyard, a house with a backyard on either side.
Exactly.
Whoever wants to put the fence up to divide from the next neighbor,
Correct.
so,
But that's by code, that's not something that the applicant is required to do.
correct.
You know, even though they're losing the woods view, there's potentially, depending on where they sit, potentially picking up a lake view.
Correct.
Right.
And the buffer would be required if this was a commercial project. There's often requirements for cement walls and such.
Right.
If you're talking about incompatibilities, then you're talking about a minimum 30-foot buffer and a 6-foot cement wall. But that's not the case here. These are considered
is supposed to be
compatible
residential.
uses.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's it. Anyone else have any questions or anything they'd like to say? Go ahead and come on back up.
Me again.
You got to state your name again.
John Boss, 1031 Alabama. Again, I'm all for this. So I'm just trying to get a grasp of this. I'm trying to figure out where I am.
You would be up above,
Yeah, on the right.
right in that area, right in there.
Yeah, I think that would be cool because, as Chris said, some of the people don't have a lake view or a pond view, whatever. What about the size of these? Would they be comparable to what I'm in right now? Like, I think mine's,
Well, I think they said it was going to be the minimum of 900.
Minimum 900
so I
square
guess,
feet,
I guess
and the lots are 1080.
what I'm getting at is it going to decrease the home value or increase? Not
Uh,
I can't
Only
can't
the,
provide
They
any
would be-
substantial competent
yeah,
evidence to that.
Would they be, so it seems like they would be smaller than my home. And again, they would be townhomes.
but only the tax appraiser would know whether it's going to decrease
Do
or
you know what the
increase, and
lots
we're
are gonna
not.
sell for?
I don't.
And when is this construction gonna start? Is this phase 3 and phase 4, would Flomich be done first and then, don't know?
The developer would have to address those questions. I don't know what they're planning on developing first or how they're going to to do it. What we look at is the final engineering to make sure that the overall plans are going to work. I can tell you that the product that they did on Primo Court, is a very nice
Great.
product.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Be similar to that? Possibly.
I don't know.
Could I get a printout of that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If you leave me your email, I can, actually, this is available online.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah, all of this, everything you're looking at is available online, but I will send you, I'll send you a sheet that's a development plan, so you don't have to go scrolling around on it, if you want to leave your email.
Sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sure.
Any other questions from anyone? All right, seeing none, I'll close the floor and ask if any of the commissioners have any questions for Brian. Seeing none, I ask for a motion to approve the plan as Brian has stated.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I hear a motion by Tony, second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Seeing a motion and a second, I'd ask for a vote.
Tony Casada?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I jumped the gun on that one.
Huh?
Dennis Smith?
Yes.
Robin Hanger?
Yes.
Arthur Burns?
Yes.
Okay. I don't believe we have any old business, but does anyone have anything they want to discuss about old business? Seeing none, we'll move on to communication with staff. If any of you have any question for staff. Brian. Okay, then seeing none, I hope I did a good enough job for my first time to ever run a meeting like this, and let's go home.
Standing.